Hey, Rob Crouch here again with Dwelling Reports. And this is part of our series, How to Get the Most Out of Your Dwelling Reports subscription. So, the primary way that we've seen a lot of our agents using Dwelling Reports is actually with buyers. We developed the tool thinking that it would be used for sellers, annual reviews. And honestly, using it with buyers has been fantastic and a really great surprise. So, I figured let's go ahead and I'm actually going to, I showed up, I'm a real estate agent in Fort Collins, Colorado. I showed a property to a buyer today, and I want to show you kind of how I went about actually putting the property together. Um, and here's the honest to goodness truth about me as an agent. I've been an agent for 12 years now. I'm very familiar with my market, but it's not uncommon for me to show a condominium in the morning and a very expensive house in the afternoon, a luxury house in the afternoon. And then like a client will ask me a lot of times, hey, what do you think this is worth? And my gut is so screwed up because I show such a wide berth of styles of homes. I can never feel like I can rely on my gut, but I have dwelling reports, which allows me to see the trends and kind of check my gut as to whether or not something's good or not. So here's what I actually did today during a showing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just create an actual report. And I'm going to use, we'll do a little office space. I think the lumber's office space character, right? Um, and let's just go ahead and set this up. This is the property that's in my MLS. I did show this one today. Um, and this client is thinking about flipping this house, which I think is a pretty great idea, honestly. So 820 Buckeye, this is Old Town adjacent. If you're familiar with Fort Collins, we have Colorado State University here. These are all old town houses here. This is really unique. These are 1960s style homes in an area called University Acres. And you can see you have your lot and block, and then you have these like crazy streets. So this is clearly a very different neighborhood. So I'm just gonna, what I did when I was at the appointment is I was waiting for him in the parking lot. I know right where these houses are. These houses above here, like in this area, they're all on acre lots, so I'm going to exclude them. Stuff that I know as an agent here in Fort Collins would not be comparable to the one that I'm showing. So I'm going to come in here. I'm not going to adjust any filters on this one either. You definitely can if you want to, but I like to keep things as wide as possible just to see as many trends. And so what I did is I just generate the report. Again, the dwelling reports is going into my MLS and it's pulling together all the listings for that neighborhood. And this is the house. It's listed at 530,000. We got a lot of sales here. We actually have some expireds and some withdrawals in the area, so that's really interesting. First thing I did was I kind of looked at what is the average square footage. Now this is a pretty small home. It's only 1,600 square feet. But I notice here the sales price to list price in this neighborhood is 100%. So homes in this neighborhood are definitely selling. They don't, if it's a good house, it will sell. Wow, look at that crazy trend line. Okay, that thing is straight up and to the right. And I can see here, this is the house. It is well below the trend line. It looks like there were some other really nice deals out there that were much larger. But these 4,400 square foot houses, I don't know how helpful that is to show my client. So what I did was I'm saying like, let's show everything beneath about 3,500 square feet. So I came in here, I'm going to edit the parameters. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. And I only want to show houses that are under 3,500 square feet. All right, hit next. So I'm refining that data a little bit so I can tell my client exactly what's happening. Great. So a much better trend line here. So you have some really high-end houses. It looks like these are all flips above, like after repair flips. Wow. Okay. Really nice houses selling above $1 million. And then you have our house, which is kind of an outlier, but you can see that it's a pretty good deal for what it is. And it looks like high-end houses in this neighborhood, this is probably a 775 house or 750 house after repair. So $530,000 purchase price. So what I was able to do in that quick amount of time is I just pulled this up on my computer. I showed it to him. I said, hey, this is where we're at right now. This is a fair deal, a fair price that they're asking for this house. Of course, there's other options out there. Like this would have been a great deal as well. And this also would have been a fantastic deal if you don't like it. But these are almost $700,000, 650. This house is a $530,000 house because it's so small. And with its finished square footage, it looks like, wow, like a lot of these houses are selling, right around this 800 mark or 825 mark for what it is. So I think that's really, really interesting. He was able to kind of draw the conclusion like, wow, this is a good deal, and there's definitely room to make some improvements here. $250,000 worth of room between the after repair value and the purchase price. So that showed him right away. That really activated him, and he said, okay, let's go for it. Let's see what's happening with that. Or and I've had other clients see this story and they say, okay, that's really helpful, but not the right house for me. But at least they knew that as an agent, I could be able to just tell the client, hey, this is what's going on in the neighborhood, and I'm able to do that really, really quickly. You'd be shocked at how good of decisions your clients make when they can see the pricing data, as opposed to you just telling them, I think this is a really nice price. It's really helpful. So I hope you use this with your next several buyers. Even go on a tour today. Pick 3 houses that you've been meaning to tour just on your own as an agent preview, and create a dwelling report for each of them. See if they're a good deal. And then go through and see how you feel about how that experience feels, knowing that you think the house is a good deal or a fair deal, or if you think the house is overpriced. That's a really fun thing to be able to do. If we were looking at this house up here, I think to myself, wow, this thing must be very, very, very nice. It's selling, they have it listed very high. That thing probably needs to be over here in this, $1,050,000 area, not or $1,001,000. They're 75K too high potentially. So that's another helpful thing to be able to talk about. So I hope that's helpful for you. Happy dwelling reports. I hope you get a lot of reports done, and I hope you are looking great in front of your clients. Have a great day.